Thanks, Sean. Hi, Dave. Dave, we've talked in the past, obviously, about having all the players available to you, and you've referenced at times a guy working hard in practice, and you want to reward him and get him into a game. How do you balance that between you want to reward those guys working in practice, but you also may have guys who are playing well and don't necessarily deserve to come out of the lineup?
You know what, you want to make sure everybody's involved, whether they're playing or not. And what you're doing, there's a lot of tactics that go into a game when you're looking at different scenarios you're trying to cover, the roles, penalty killer, power play, right-handed, left-handed, center. I mean, there's a lot of different factors that come into play, matchups. I mean, we talk through every guy every day that the lineup, we put a lineup out and we put a lineup the way we think that gives us the best chance to win. And that being said, there's times when, when young Bouchard came in last game, we wanted to get him up and going. So there's adjustments you can make to your lineup that you feel like can help you for that game, but also to make sure you're getting everybody included and finding out exactly what everybody can do to help you.
And then just, I noticed Haas, I didn't think Haas was out there today, his status, and the date for Smith to be active, I'm not sure if he's available for tomorrow.
Haas, we just kept off as he should be available to play tomorrow. We just kept him off as a precaution today, and Smith is eligible to come off IR after the Calgary game.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Dave, Kyle Turris, is his game rounding into shape, or is he still on the fence there? Because last game he addressed 11 forwards and he didn't really play much.
He got hurt during the game and missed a big part of the second period, which was a big part of that time on ice. He missed. He got a cut and had to get sewed up, so he missed some time there. But his game is, he's working at it. He's come in. He's trying to find a new role, trying to find a new kind of his niche on the team. There's been some positive stuff and some stuff that still has to grow in his game.
And does it look like Shore will be on the fourth line, or are you still mulling over
we got
11
we're still mulling all options. We got a couple of things we're monitoring there, and we'll see where that goes.
Josh Clipperton, Canadian Press.
Hi, Dave. You coached your whole career in the U.S. until last season. Apart from the obvious benefits of working with this group, how thankful are you on a personal, professional level that, this season in particular, you're only in Canada, especially when looking at all the cases with the teams shutting down and facilities shutting down, just the bonus of not having to deal with that, knock on wood, up to now and hopefully moving forward?
Well, I don't think the virus doesn't matter which country it's in. I think our organization and has done an unbelievable job at keeping the players safe and taking all the precautions, all the protocols are in place. So I can only speak for our organization that they've done very well. But it's a worldwide virus. It's not just a virus in the United States or Canada or wherever. So I'm thankful that our organization is taking it as serious as it needs to make sure the players and staff and everybody are safe.
Thank you.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Hey, Dave. We're all looking forward to Edmonton Calgary games because sometimes a bunch of crazy stuff happens, and it's just a different rivalry, right? Who knows what's going to happen? Does this help your team? Do you just want to go in there and play straight hockey and get your 2 points and get out? Does it do anything for your team that there's a bit of a history here between the two clubs?
Well, there's always a history, but I think the history is built up more with you guys than it is. Our whole talk is about how we're going to go in there and win. We got to play well enough to win. So there's things that you get your team ready for tactically to win, but it's going to be a hard game. There's the reality is you're playing playoff games in regular season. They're 4-point games, so that comes into play. I understand the whole history and every time that, we play, there's a big build up to it. I understand all that. That's all well and good, but you got to go in there with the mindset that you're going to play well enough to win and do things that allow you to win. You got to play with purpose and do the things that allow your team to be successful in there, but you can't go in thinking that this is, it's blown up by the media. It's going to be some kind of spectacle. You got to go in there and play well. That's what we're planning on doing.
Okay, so you referenced talking to your players. You had a long talk with Connor McDavid after practice. I'm not going to even ask you to exactly what you said because I know you won't tell me. But maybe you can just speak to, why does a coach talk to his captain for, what are the things you go over with them? What are the things that you lean on a captain for?
Connor was about the 8th guy I talked to today, so sometimes it's on the ice, sometimes it's in my office, sometimes it's standing in the hallway. So I talk to a lot of guys every day, but you're just talking to Connor a little bit about our team. We, you're always monitoring where your team is energy-wise, where your focus is. I was actually talking to him a little bit about the protocols, the new ones that came in. How do you think it'll affect our guys? And we've got a lot of guys that like to come to the rink earlier, and for treatments and stuff. So, but the protocols are in place, and everybody has to deal with them. So, it was I touch base with a lot of guys every day.
Jack Michael, 6:30 Ched.
Dave, without getting too much into the buildup, I wanted your thoughts more on certain games and certain wins. And last year's win over Calgary, when it's an emotional win like that, does it draw the group at all closer together long term? Are some wins more meaningful than others long term for the healthier club when you look back on it?
Jack, it's different years, totally different years. You got players, a lot of players that weren't in that game. Last year it was the tale of both sides. We got our butt kicked right after Christmas, and then we had a good game in there later on. So you draw for both of them. But if you're going to dwell on one game from the past, you're not thinking about the right thing. You're thinking about tomorrow. We got to go in there and play well, find a way to win in there. And the past is the past. You got to worry about getting wins in the future here.
You've won 3 games in a row on the ice. How do you think the group has come together off the ice?
I think it's continued to be a work in progress. We've added a lot of new players this year, so it's, you go through. Usually, you have a full training camp and exhibition games, and to go through it, we've been shortened in that. So I think the group is coming together. The one thing that really helps the group to come together, and especially when you've got extra players around, you got 6, 7, 8 extra players around. The one thing that helps meld the group together is winning, and we've won 3 in a row. So it's you can tell our group is it's a lot easier to bond when you're winning.
Last question, Jim Matheson.
So I just want to clarify, so Smith will not even be dressed as a backup tomorrow night because he doesn't come
No.
off the roster?
No.
So why is Grosenick on waivers then?
That's probably a better question for Ken, but we've got Skinner still on the taxi squad, so if Grosenick gets picked up, Skinner will back up.
And the other question I have for you is, when you play Calgary, do you have to tell, say, Zach Cassian, just don't even let Tkachuk bother you, or is that just part of Calgary's makeup, and then you know that Tkachuk's going to try to stir things?
Yeah, we worry about our team, Jim. We're worried about, we're going to need Zach playing well. Is what we need him to concentrate on doing the things that help us to win rather than concentrate on what Calgary's doing.